this evening. And now we begin to count down once again toward the main event. Joining me right now is one of boxing's leading literary lights, the former chairman of the New York State Athletic Commission and now contracted to be. There he comes with a couple to start things off.
Berbick used those big broad shoulders for great defense. He too is somewhat an unorthodox fighter. Not a lot of movement. Uses arms, elbows. Very strong inside.
And so far, we've got a Carl Williams jabbing exhibition. That is jab number 7 in a row, make it 8, and Berbick has yet to answer. A left and a right along the ropes.
Berbick is very clever. He tries to bring his opponents closer, especially if they're taller than he is. He brings them in. Sometimes he goes against the ropes, and he retaliates. He may not find that in Carl Williams. Williams appears to be more content to use that jab.
Well, Berbick is either playing possum early here, Ray, or he is elected to come in and not throw punches tonight.
Well, here again,
Berbick's in trouble.
No, he's not. He's just playing around. This is the way he knocked out a lot of opponents, because they thought they had him, and all of a sudden he comes back throwing punches and gets them in trouble. That's that beautiful jab of Carl Williams. Berbick is looking in. He's trying to find the best way to get inside that jab of Carl Williams.
Well, Berbick finally threw a punch. This is an IBF elimination fight. Numbers 1 versus 2. The winner to get a mandatory title shot. And again, Berbick attempts to goad Williams into believing that he's in trouble.
Good stiff jab. Williams should throw that jab to the midsection a couple of times. Bring those hands down. You need to change the direction of the jab, especially if you possess a good jab like Williams does.
Berbick, in the entire round, Ray, has issued 2 pawing left hands to the gut. And Carl Williams continues to just work away with the left jab.
You may find a little disapproval from the crowd because they want to see some action here.
All right, get out. Bring out. Let's go.
Well, not the world's most difficult round to score.
Good time. You got that round away, right? Right?
Just
well, I was just getting him off. Yeah, I know. Just rinse this for a minute. Take that time.
I'm dropping him now.
Okay?
Pick up those hands.
That's what he got. All right, rinse it right in the bucket. Okay. And give me a spit bucket up here. It's nice to give him a fucking round, but throw a punch when... Hey, Trev, throw a punch, put a little respect in the son of a bitch. You understand me? Okay. Spit me.
The words of veteran Al Braverman, who saw the round the same way we did, Ray.
Well, to paraphrase Al, he means go to work, become aggressive.
I'm glad you paraphrased him.
Get in your corner. Get in your corner, Trevor. All right, let's go. Come on.
He saw the jab differential as round 2 begins.
Berbick now is trying to turn this fight into a street fight.
Let's go.
It's okay to be cute at times, but it has to be for a reason.
Short right hand inside by Berbick. Partially blocked by Carl Williams with the left.
Berbick now working the midsection of Williams.
Get the head off the neck, Colin. Get the head off the neck. Let's go. Don't be holding the head.
Now Berbick starts to do some business against the rib cage. Williams shows he's not afraid to step up on the ropes.
King, come on.
Both guys are content to do what they're doing now, which is really not too much. Williams has been throwing a lot of jabs. Now he's it seems to me, Jim, that he's starting to take a breather.
Well, you pointed out that Trevor Berbick has never been the world's most entertaining fighter, and he is underlining that description right here.
A lot of times when Berbick fights, he fights according to his opponent's style. If they're busy, he's cute, and he's a little more aggressive because he has to be. In here against Williams, Williams can just stand off and use that jab, so you may not see too much action, except when one of the guys are hurt.
When I was upstairs with Larry Holmes, Ray, he used one word to describe Berbick. Weird.
Berbick has his own style.
Both fighters went the distance with Holmes.
All right, bring out. Bring out. Bring out. Let's go.
And what I found out from these guys here, when up against a great fighter like Larry Holmes, they put a better fight. Good right hand by Call the Truth Williams. It seemed to have stunned.
Good right hand by Berbick, coming back.
It seemed to have stunned Berbick. Then Berbick retaliated with a good right hand of his own. But when he fought Larry Holmes, they looked impressive. And now they've yet to put out.
Williams continues to score with the jab. Berbick, a considerably more energetic fighter in round 2 than in the first stanza. But still the dominant element in the fight remains Carl Williams' jab from distance.
You're strong. You're handling yourself beautifully. You're putting your head where you got to put it. Quicker jab. You look quicker. Your hand speed is much greater than his. So let's win with hand speed. Don't match him. Your hand speed is fight. Pop, pop. Then down.
Take your breath first. Taking a breath. Oh, man, you're some breath, eh?
Yeah. Get close to him.
All right.
Inside.
Got it?
Back him up. Inside.
Up his hand me. That's it.
Yeah.
You are watching Trevor Berbick and Carl Williams, who have completed 2 rounds in an IBF heavyweight elimination fight. Still to come, Mike Tyson against Michael Spinks. The voice in Williams' corner was that of his trainer, Carmen Graciano. In Berbick's corner, you hear both trainer Lee Black
Get in your corner, Trevor. Get in your corner.
and the veteran cornerman Al Braverman. Williams begins round 3 by reminding Berbick of the jab, which dominated the first 2 rounds.
You see now the different pattern of left jabs thrown by Carl Williams. He's throwing it to the head, to the body.
I can see you, okay?
Now Berbick is complaining about a thumb, but it's difficult to thumb someone with those webbed thumbs. The thumbs are attached. I think what Williams should be doing, Jim, every time that Berbick reaches in, pop him with the left jab. Keep him at balance. Keep him off balance. That's all he has to do. Just stick his jab out.
Get the dogs out. Let him out, Cole. Get him out. Let's go. Get the dogs out. Hey! I got King. You're holding now. You're holding. Let's go. Let's go.
Berbick has gone back to the inactive posture that he adopted in round 1. And Williams responds by continuing to step up with the left jab.
Berbick's a little frustrated because he can't land any punches. He can't get set.
Decides to dance, and Williams says, well, I can jab you while you do that, too. One minute to go in round 3. of what has so far been a workout for Carl Williams.
Hey! We got it. Sit back.
Good left hand by Berbick coming out of that action.
Get the hand. Oh, break out. Oh, you're holding the hand now. Don't be holding the hand. Let's go.
You heard Cortez warn Carl Williams against holding Berbick's head in the clinches. Good tactic if you get away with it.
Time!
We'll go to Carl Williams' corner first.
With your jab, drop the right hand, follow your jab, his head's way back, he'll never see the right hand. Nice jab, put the head way back and drop a straight right hand, step right in with it, okay? This is the round. Another bottle comes. He's getting slower and you're getting quicker.
Carry the fight to him. Carry the fight to him. You got to start working. You done gave away 3 rounds.
Yeah, open your mouth. Open up.
Listen to what I'm saying. Look, you got to work.
Put this back on. Take your time. A lot of time.
Come on out there and get
Quickly now, let's hear the scoring of our unofficial scoring scorer, Harold Letterman.
Well, Jim, I've got a 30-27, 3 runs to none for Carl Williams. He's keeping Trevor Berbick perfectly at the end of his left jab. The distance is beautiful, and that's good ring generalship.
And of course, Harold, the Berbick corner has scored it the same way as we heard in their conversation. So now we see the beginning of round 4 in a fight in which Carl Williams has dominated the first 3 rounds with his jab.
Berbick has to find a way to nullify the left jab of Williams, because standing straight up, he's going to be peppered. Laying back, being cute, he's going to be peppered. What he needs to do, he needs to go to work.
Well, great trainers, and Eddie Futch is one in particular, talk about taking away the left jab. How do you do it, Ray?
Well, a lot of times, working the body, you bring that left hand down. You try to slow your opponent down by working the body, the midsection, if you will. And also counter right hand. When that jab comes out and comes back and drop, you counter with the right hand. I have not seen that with Berbick. Well, he tried it there.
All right, break! Break out! Hold on. That's it, break out.
That works sometimes, too. It's not
Hitting
really
in the
legal.
clinch,
It's
not a bad
legal.
idea.
It's not legal, but it works.
Williams stepped away disgustedly, and now Berbick starts going to the midsection with aggressiveness.
Let's go. Hey! Break out clean. Break out clean. Step back.
Berbick has only had 1 fight since he was destroyed by Mike Tyson in 2 rounds.
Work out.
Williams could easily have been unbeaten at this stage in his career. Many ringside observers thought that he got at least a draw, or should have gotten at least a draw against Holmes in their 15-round battle. He was beating up Mike Weaver in Troy, New York in February 1986 when Weaver landed one of those rocket shots of which he was capable and suddenly put him on Queer Street and knocked him out.
Williams fought his best fight when he fought the former heavyweight champion Larry Holmes. He had Larry frustrated with his left jab. He kept his jab busy, and I have not seen that type of performance since.
But he'll be in line for a title shot if he can get past Berbick here tonight. And he's the kind of fighter, Ray, that many people think would make an interesting opponent for Mike Tyson if Tyson should get past Spinks. He's big, he has the left jab, he has lateral movement and boxing skill.
But there's never been a problem with Mike Tyson as far as height, arms is concerned. Just have to have a little bit more ring generalship.
Round 4, comes to a close, and still, Berbick has found no strategy to reverse the tide of the fight. And there is Mrs. Mike Tyson, Robin Givens. Seated next to her, Don King on one side. On the other side, the much publicized mother of Robin Givens, Ruth Roper. They are known in newspapers to be a chummy crowd. Round 5 begins with a half dozen Williams jabs. Not quite as sharp, Ray, as they were in round 1 and 2.
Well, I think he has not been that busy, so I don't believe that he's tired. It's just been the fact that Berbick is so awkward. I mean, with his broad shoulders and his weird movement, that Williams has not been able to land combinations. He has been landing left jab like he's doing here, but he has not been able to put together combinations.
This fight is scheduled for 12 rounds. This crowd will get restless if they watch 12 rounds of this.
Well, we need to see more punches from Trevor Berbick. I've stated that from round 1. In fact, that's what he has to do to get inside. He needs to work his jab, get close to Williams, and try to slow him down. Make him fight his fight. Thus far, it's been Williams' fight. Left jab, repeatedly.
That time, Williams led with the right. Hasn't done that very often. Hasn't had to. Of course, this fight remained in doubt right up until 4 or 5 days ago when the IBF settled its dispute over the question of whether the Tyson-Spinks fight would go 12 rounds or 15. And so consequently, neither Berbick nor Williams knew with any certainty that they would be fighting tonight until that time. It appears that Williams, for the moment, has been the man who handled that particular little passage better than did his opponent.
This has been an awful fight for Trevor Berbick. He has not been effective at all. No clean punches. He's been throwing punches off balance. Just been a bad night for him.
5 rounds of Carl Williams jabs. Berbick goes to his corner to seek another answer.
Sit down. The whole secret now you got it. You got to move this sucker back. You understand, Fred? Take your time. Don't worry about that. Here, I got this. Just rinse that out. Nice deep breath.
Behind. Yeah, leave.
No, he's coming nice. No. Yeah, but let me tell you something. Trev, you're doing beauty.
Inside, no matter how you do it, rough him up. I'm telling you what to expect. Don't let him do that. Twist him, spin him, and keep him on the end of your jab.
Well, you'll seldom see a more remarkable set of statistics than that. Just to re-emphasize them, Williams has thrown 112 jabs in the fight, and Berbick has thrown 14. Now, any difference wouldn't be surprising, Ray, because Berbick doesn't really work off the jab, and what he has is more of a pawing, pushing jab than the kind of snapping weapon that Williams brings to the fight. But a gap that wide is astonishing.
It really is, Jim, because I expected more punches from Trevor Berbick. Berbick normally throws punches, roundhouse punches, looping punches, left hooks. He has not been doing that tonight. He has not been that busy tonight.
Well, he's 35 years old. He took a fierce beating from Tyson in 2 rounds. Could it be that Trevor Berbick is too far down the road for this experience?
I doubt very seriously, because Berbick has not taken a great deal of punishment throughout his career. He's been a very defensive type fighter, and he's preserved his body very well. I think the problem he has is right in front of him, Carl Williams.
Get him out. Let's go. Come on, get him out. Come on, let's go. Don't be looking at me.
Cortez no happier with the action than the people outside the ring.
Bring out, team, bring out.
You can just see the frustration in Trevor Berbick. He's hitting rapid punches behind the head. Really loses his composure, which could prove to be fatal with the jab of Carl Williams.
But it's obvious that neither fighter wants to make the kind of mistake that could lead to a sudden knockdown. And until one of them gets a little bit more courageous, we're likely to continue to see this exhibition of jabbing technique. At those times when Berbick has tried to lunge in, Williams has been hard to find.
Get him out.
Now Berbick is able to lure Williams onto the ropes, and he gets him with a counter right hand. 1 minute to go in round number 6.
Look how wild Trevor Berbick is becoming now. I mean, there is signs of desperation. Look here, dropping his hands. He's really lost his composure. If I saw that in the fight, I would have a field day.
But would you step in a little farther and be a little more aggressive at this moment than Williams is? I guess you don't have to.
That's it. You answer the question, Jim. He doesn't have
Put the
to.
hands up the neck, huh? Hold time. You're holding, you keep holding, we'll take a point, but we don't be holding the head now. Let's go. Time!
So Cortez warns Williams not to hold behind the head. The next instance, a threatened reduction of a point. And coming up, Mike Tyson against Michael Spinks in what promises to be a considerably more active battle than the one we're watching right now between Berbick and Williams. And the young champion heats up. That's a live shot of Mike Tyson in his dressing room as he prepares for a fight which will take place in fewer than 45 minutes from now. And there's Paul Simon warming up with Jack Nicholson and Warren Beatty. Nicholson, the soul of discretion, decides to hide his words with a well-folded program. That's Jesse Jackson just in front of Beatty. That is Donald Trump to Jackson's right. That is Mrs. Trump, Ivana, seated next to her husband. Carl Williams now with some salve at the corner of his right eye. Have not seen any blood from that spot. Could be just a mild abrasion. Good counter right hand inside by Berbick.
Berbick's starting to get a little mean now. Starting to put a little more body behind his punches.
Round 7 brings the new Trevor Berbick to the ring.
He's talking to Carl Williams. I guess he's trying to make Carl Williams upset too. Make Carl Williams fight his type of fight.
Well, for the moment, he's been able to wrestle the jab right out of business. There it is again. Could be that Berbick saw that abrasion at the corner of Williams' eye and decided it was time to go to work.
Come on, work out there.
Well, I'm also surprised that Berbick has not thrown that looping right hand. The left hand of Williams has been dropping slowly but surely. You notice how he throws a jab, he drops it. That's perfect timing for a counter right hand.
Break out, come on, break out, please, break out. Hey, when I say break, you break. Let's go.
Almost landed a monstrous uppercut coming out of the break. Cortez said, hey, that one wouldn't be a legal shot. Couple of good right hands inside as Williams left himself open after the left hand.
Berbick is just trying to out-muscle Williams here.
Let's go, work out.
Williams should not cooperate and stay inside. There is
blood. Yes, now there's blood over the right eye of Carl Williams.
Doesn't seem to be too bad, but again, Williams should not be inside.
No, it's a small cut, but it's a target for Trevor Berbick. And it seems to have brought a little new life to Berbick's mentality. Both fighters get away with low blows.
Work out, your hands, please. Come on.
It seems to me that Williams is starting to wear down. He's throwing some pretty good shots, but with not the same conviction he's threw earlier.
No question about it, Ray. Williams is not nearly as confident looking a fighter at this moment. And Trevor Berbick knows it.
Good body shots, though.
The jab is going away, and we're starting to see a little bit more of a brawl. That would play into Berbick's hands.
Williams cannot keep this up. I don't believe.
And that cut over the right eye is beginning to open up a little bit as round 7 comes to a close. The cut man in Carl Williams' corner is Eddie Aliano, one of the best in the game.
Cover the ring and punch while you're moving. Drop that right hand like you hit his back. Just like water. There's some water. Just like you hit his feet. It's open, Eddie? A little bit, very light.
And Aliano goes to work. First he applies pressure.
Need a towel? Eddie, you need a towel?
No, we got it.
Be about 25 seconds worth of pressure. Then the salve.
Oh, go back to covering the ring. He's only got one chance trying to get inside. All right, come on. I got it. Cover the ring and hit him while you move.
Goodyear Blimp America from Houston, Texas provides us with this shot. Pilot is Captain Don McDuff, a native of Anson, Texas, and a lifelong fight fan who picks Mike Tyson to win it in 7 rounds. Hello, Don.
Hey, let's go, man.
8th round begins of a fight which changed pretty dramatically in round number 7.
The 7th round, I saw a little something different in Carl Williams. He was not as confident as he was in the early round.
And suddenly, Trevor Berbick has arrived. Brawling, trying to spin Williams with his upper body strength.
Williams should not be here at this point here.
Come on, let's go, get the hands out. Come on, work out of there. Your hands are free.
Berbick using that great upper body strength, trying to wear down Williams.
Come on, work out. Your hands are free. Come on.
This is a very bad idea for Williams to lean all over Trevor and fight his fight with him, isn't it, Ray?
You also know that's true, but also watch what happens when Williams put both feet together. He can get pushed down, knocked off balance, or even knocked to the canvas.
Well, we saw that in the Mike Williams-Buster Douglas fight. The Williams' feet betrayed him early in the fight.
Watch these shots here. Those good uppercuts by Trevor Berbick.
Come on, punch out of there. Punch out of there. Come on, your hands are free. Come on, get the hands out, Colin. Let's go.
It'll be interesting to see after this round how Harold Letterman has changed his view of the fight, if at all.
Come on, get the hands out, punch out. Your hands are free.
Blood flowing from a small cut above Williams' eye.
The cut has gotten worse.
Yes, considerably worse, Ray.
And it's in a very bad spot. Berbick now just using his body. He's not punching with arms now. He's using his body. Wearing his opponent down.
You run it.
Okay, let me hold the head. Let me hold the head. Come on. Get the head off. I'm trying to take good points. Watch your head.
Williams complained about his butt, intentional butt. He seemed to be bucked a couple of times, but he gained his composure.
3 straight left hands by Berbick as he begins to go for the eye. It is now a target for him. And Williams has stopped using his feet to cover the ring as he did early in the bout.
Hold your scorecard. Hold your scorecard. Scorecard. Come on. Come on, get the hand off the neck. Hold your scope. Come on. Break! Break out, break out, break out. All right, you hold him. I'm taking the point away now. Hold your scorecard. Hold your scorecard.
Round 8 comes to a close, and again the pressure falls on Eddie Aliano to try to do something about Carl the Truth Williams' eye. He steps into position.
Well, he got me.
Yeah.
Hey, bud, I tell her that way, I'm going to call.
Now Carmen Graziano wants to talk to Joe Cortez about butts.
Yeah. He bought me. Carl, listen. I took a point away from you for holding behind the head. I told you, I warned you several times. I don't want you to keep on holding. I was taking points away some more.
Let's stay outside, Carl. Hit him from outside. Short combination.
So you heard Joe Cortez there say that a point has been deducted from Carl Williams for holding behind the head. Now let's look at Harold Letterman's scorecard. Harold?
Well, Jim, I've got it 6 rounds to 2. I thought that 77-74 in points because of the fact that Cortez took the point. I definitely thought that Trevor Berbick outfought Carl Williams in the last 2 rounds, but the question is Trevor Berbick too far behind in this fight?
So you had it at 78-74, but with the point deduction, Harold, it comes down to 77-74. All right. Round 9 begins in what is an increasingly interesting bout between Carl Williams and Trevor Berbick. The winner in line for a mandatory heavyweight title shot. Williams tries to get back on his feet and move around. And we talked earlier in the fight, Ray, about taking away the jab.
Well,
Trevor Berbick's been able to do it.
Berbick has taken away the jab, and the way he was able to do that was to turn this into a street brawl. He made Williams abandon his left jab and start fighting inside, which has been a bad mistake.
Get the hands out, get those hands off. Let's go work out of there. Break out clean, break out clean.
And of course, it's incumbent on Williams now to try to forget about his eye and go back to what had been piling up points for him earlier in the bout. But he doesn't seem to be thinking jab now. Started out trying to throw underneath, throwing hooks.
Let's go work out.
4 rounds remaining. And with the deduction of the point, if in fact it were to go the distance and Trevor Berbick were able to win the last 4, he can still pull a victory out.
Well, work out of there. Let's go. Hold the head. Don't be holding. Let's go. Work out of there, guys. Come on, get me around.
That, of course, is if the other judges at ringside, the 3 official judges from the state of New Jersey, see it about the way we've seen it.
Good left hand from Carl Williams.
Doesn't seem to be able to hurt Berbick, though, no matter how solidly he lands those punches, right?
Well, you notice when Williams throws his combinations, he'll tire his man up or either move away.
Let's go. Come on, your hands are free. Come on. Work out.
The The good news for Carl Williams at this moment is that the cut seems to be stabilizing. He has not had the kind of blood flow in this round that he did in round 8. And that can happen during the course of a bout if the cut man does his job effectively. So 9 rounds have come to completion. We still look ahead to the World Heavyweight Championship bout between Mike Tyson and Michael Spinks, 2 unbeaten fighters. 17 years ago in Madison Square Garden, as an unbeaten fighter with 31 wins, 0 losses, that man fought another unbeaten heavyweight named Joe Frazier. And there, of course, is another former heavyweight champion who took the title from Ali in 1978, Leon Spinks. And the Spinks family is now getting together in his locker room for a pre-fight or a pre-fight prayer.
Get in your corner. Get in your corner. Get in your corner.
He hopes it isn't a pre-fight prayer. Round 10. Remember that this bout is scheduled for 12 as an official IBF elimination bout. And both fighters have been 15 rounds in their careers, so they know how to take the long road to 12.
They may want to stop the fight for a sec for the tape on, loose tape rather, on Trevor Berbick's right and left glove. Which gives a little breather to
both fighters.
Carl Williams and Trevor Berbick.
Williams not breathing too heavily as he stands just above us, Ray. Looks a little disgusted with the way the last few rounds have gone.
Well, he had to, he selected to fight inside with Berbick, and he learned the wonderful art of hitting behind the head and rabbit punching and things of that nature.
Carl nodded to someone in the crowd just behind us, Ray. Turned to look and see who it might have been, but it's hard to tell. There comes the jab again. Missing for 2 rounds.
That little breather, a few seconds, rejuvenated the left jab of Carl Williams.
Indeed it did.
Put a little more life behind it.
So we've had 2 interesting little interludes which could have an influence on the ultimate outcome of the bout. A deducted point against Williams for holding behind the head. And now the brief pause to remove tape from Berbick's glove, which seems suddenly to revive the Carl Williams jab.
2 big right hands by Trevor Berbick.
Get the hands out. Get those hands out. Let's go. Get him out. Let's go. Come on, work out. Come on, work out there, guys. Your hands are free. Your hands are free. Come on, Carl. Let's go. Your hands are free. Let's go.
Seen the jab resurface, Berbick goes back to the tactic of trying to turn it into a wrestling match. Well, he's throwing it, Ray, but it's not the same stinging jab which dominated the first 6 rounds.
It's not really the potent jab it was in the earlier rounds, but it's scoring points.
Some of the foot movement returning, he's now able to make Berbick miss again. Well, we are very near now to the feature event. And finally, virtually every seat in the House is filled. Donald Trump counts the House for what he says is the largest live gate ever for a sports event. Jesse Jackson leans over to listen to the words of Robin Givens Tyson as she whispers across Don King and into the presidential candidate's ear. Tickets on the boardwalk being scalped for as much, I am told, as $5,000. Jose Torres, Ray, contended to me that he knows a man who bought a ticket out on the boardwalk tonight for $5,000. We had been told as much as $3 a few hours ago. As fight time nears, the ante goes up.
All right, let's go. Time in.
You're watching Trevor Berbick and Carl the Truth Williams in the 11th round of their 12-round bout to determine which of them gets the next mandatory IBF title shot in the heavyweight division.
If Carl Williams can keep that jab working, active, I see he can capture this decision. Or either knockout, because that was a good shot just there.
But though Williams has landed a lot of blows tonight, he never seems to have hurt Berbick.
Berbick has trouble trying to get set to throw his punches with the box, and that's what I would envision the Carl the Truth Williams doing. Just jabbing, moving, lateral movement. You see, as long as he throws his jab out, it's difficult for Berbick to get set. He gets frustrated.
Unsung hero of the night, if Williams is able to hold on and win the bout, cut man Eddie Aliano, who stopped the flow of blood after the 8th round.
It's so important to have a professional cut man in your corner.
Come on. All right, break out. Break out. Let's go. Come on. Come on, work out there. Come on. Your hands are free.
Berbick landing punches inside, but just as the snap is gone from Williams' jab, and two good, solid blows coming out of that break by Carl Williams, a left and a right to the head of Trevor Berbick. And I was going to say, just as Williams' jab is losing its snap, Berbick no longer seems able to snap Williams' head back when he lands inside.
Williams complained about the head of Trevor Berbick. He shouldn't be there. He should not be inside with Berbick. They throw his combinations, get out, start moving, use the jab. Beautiful combinations by Carl Williams.
Williams coming alive again in the middle of round 11 and has dominated the last minute and a half of this round.
Come on, let's go. Get him out.
Just great combinations, great hands by Carl Williams.
Come on, let's go, both of you guys. Time!
So they've got 3 minutes to go. Final look at Carl Williams by cutman Eddie Aliano, but he's done his job.
You need to bend your back and let those punches go.
You got to knock the man out, Trevor. This is the last round.
Yeah. Here we see some work by Carl Williams for a combination after combination. In fact, he's been getting the better of the two throughout the fight. Another shot here. The right hand, left hook. Trevor Berbick being very lackadaisical and being so susceptible to combinations thrown by Carl Williams.
Advantage. You know what, Trev?
Nice, did your job.
And you heard from Al Braverman and Lee Black how the Berbick corner had scored the fight. They said, Trevor, you've got to knock the man out. Joe Cortez separates the fighters and now brings them in to begin round number 12. Harold, tell me, without us looking at the graphic, how do you have the fight scored?
Well, Jim, I've got 101 to 107, 9 rounds to 2 in favor of Carl Williams. I've got him ahead commandingly. I definitely thought he outfought Trevor Berbick in the last 3 rounds. And I thought Sugar Ray Leonard called it right very early on when he said that Trevor Berbick was landing rabbit punches consistently. Because that's what he's doing. He's hitting Carl Williams behind the head, and that's illegal.
Right now, though, Berbick has begun to do some damage inside as he tries to flurry one more time. Williams covering up. Crowd comes alive with 2 minutes to go.
All right, come on, don't be holding, let's go, come on.
According to both Harold Letterman and the people in Berbick's corner, Trevor needs a knockout.
Don't be holding, guys. Get the hands out. Let's go. All right, break out, Tony, break out.
Good combinations by Carl Williams.
Finally starting to put punches together with real effectiveness in the last 2 rounds, Ray.
Just a beautiful display of combinations. At this point now, Jim, the fighter's arms are extremely tired, but they are really reaching down, trying to bring up that extra amount of energy to finish the other guy off.
And after a couple of difficult rounds in the middle of the fight, the 7th and 8th, Carl Williams has shown some real guts in coming back here to dominate the late stages of the fight.
He's looking quite impressive. He's showing a great deal of heart, and he's inside. He's showing the heart of a champion.
Your hands are free, guys. Come on, wake up. Come on, your hands are free. Come on.
He's fighting a rugged fighter in Trevor Berbick.
Didn't, in the end, turn out to be such a bad fight, did it?
Well, now, this point here, he's being much more the aggressive, throwing more shots to the midsection, throwing combinations.
Watch your hands inside.
If it turns out that way, Williams will raise his record to 21-2. He's 28 years old. Berbick will drop to 34-6-1. At age 35, you would have to doubt that there is a lot of future left. Low blow by Carl Williams.
Let's go, come on.
But Cortez didn't deduct anything, moved him back in. You see the time remaining now. And in our estimation, all that's necessary for Carl Williams to earn himself a heavyweight championship bout would be to stand up from here on in.
We have a lot of unanswered blows by Trevor Berbick. That's what cost the fight. For sure.
Well, Berbick gave away the first 5 or 6 rounds and simply dug himself too deep a hole, unless something unusual happens. We did see Saturday night here on the boardwalk a very strange decision in a fight involving Hector Camacho and Reyes Cruz. At least I certainly thought it was a little off-kilter, Ray.
It was a surprise decision that Camacho was able to gain because no one expected that much from Cruz. But Cruz, he rose to the occasion.
Well, he more than rose to the occasion, and in my particular opinion, he won the fight. But not in the opinion of the judges who scored it for Hector Camacho.
Well, that's why we have the Harold Letterman.
Yep, and we shall see what happens here. Crowd standing now, awaiting this decision, and then they'll begin to crank themselves up. Not that much longer to wait for the main event. And now let's go to ring announcer Michael Buffer to find out who won this fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this bout will now be ranked #1 by the International Boxing Federation. Here is the official scoring. Aldavigo scores the bout 116 to 112. Henry Eugene Grant scores at 117 to 110, and Joseph Pasquale scores at 116 to 111. For the winner by unanimous decision, Carl the Truth Williams.
No surprises there. Joe Cortez holds up the hand of the man who got a well-deserved decision.
Titles.